Some dads tell bedtime stories. These dads start bar fights, drink too much, and sometimes accidentally destroy the world. But let's be honest, that's why we love them. From Homer Simpson's donut-fueled parenting to Peter Griffin's questionable decisions, Randy Marsh's "I thought this was America" energy, Rick Sanchez's toxic genius, and Stan Smith's CIA-level overprotectiveness, every one of these cartoon dads has given us legendary moments. But here's the question. Who's the worst dad of all time, and who secretly deserves the crown of best animated father figure?
Springfield's Bolorama is closing forever.
No! Why does every place nobody goes to anymore close?
Today, we're building the ultimate cartoon dad tier list. F-tier disasters, C-tier train wrecks, A-tier protectors, and one dad who somehow makes it all the way to S-tier greatness. Some of these rankings are going to shock you, and one will probably make you furious, but that's what makes this list fun. Buckle up, because this is Toonastics, and it's time to rank the dads. F-tier, the absolutely hopeless Jerry Smith. Before we rank the big five, we need a baseline. And unfortunately for Jerry Smith from Rick and Morty, he's it. Jerry isn't just a bad dad, he's barely a functioning adult. His kids don't respect him, his wife resents him, and even Rick calls him useless. Let's be real, when Rick, the guy who turns his family into body horror creatures, calls you the embarrassment of the family, you've officially hit rock bottom. Jerry constantly tries to prove himself but always fails. Remember the time he tried to lead a rebellion against Rick? He tripped over a rock and gave up instantly. Or when he tried to bond with Morty and Summer, only to ruin it because he couldn't keep them safe without Rick's help? The man's so insecure he turns every parenting moment into a pity party.
Look, honey, it's our son with Albert Eindouche.
What?
I'm an angry father, not an improviser.
And sure, there are moments where Jerry shows love. He does care about Beth. He wants to care about the kids. But the execution? Absolute disaster. Jerry is the guy who means well but never delivers. That's why Jerry is our F-tier benchmark. He's not evil, he's not dangerous, he's just hopeless. D-tier, the train wrecks, Rick Sanchez. Our first main dad placement, Rick Sanchez. On paper, Rick is a genius, he's the smartest man in the multiverse, he builds world-ending technology for breakfast, but when it comes to being a dad, he's toxic at best, dangerous at worst. Rick abandoned Beth for most of her childhood. He drops in and out of her life, leaving emotional scars that fuel almost every bad decision she makes. And Morty? He's literally Rick's guinea pig, forced into life-threatening adventures every single week. From Cronenberg World to the Purge Planet, Rick drags Morty into nightmares that no kid should survive. Now here's the twist. Rick does love his family, deep down. We've seen glimpses of that love in episodes like The Wedding Squanchers, where he turns himself in to protect them, or when he reveals painful truths about his past to Beth. Those moments prove Rick isn't heartless.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Does evil exist? And if so, can one detect and measure it? Rhetorical question, Morty. The answer's yes, you just have to be a genius.
But love without responsibility doesn't cut it. Rick constantly puts his ego, science, and alcohol before his kids' safety. His toxic behavior outweighs the rare flashes of care, so yes, Rick is complex. But as a dad, he lands in D tier. Brilliant scientist, fun grandpa, but still a terrible father. C tier, lovable idiots, Peter Griffin. Next up, Peter Griffin from Family Guy. Now, Peter is the definition of chaotic neutral. He's funny, he's memorable, but as a father, he's basically a lawsuit waiting to happen. Let's start with his kids. Peter constantly insults Meg, turning "Shut up, Meg" into one of TV's longest-running bullying campaigns. He drags Chris into dumb schemes, uses Stewie for experiments, and once literally sold Meg for a beer. That's not even an exaggeration.
Can't have a bat flying around the house. We gotta do something.
Don't worry, Lois, I'll get rid of it. It'll be a piece of cake, just like my enhancement.
On top of that, Peter's reckless behavior constantly puts his family in danger. Whether it's crashing the family car, setting the house on fire, or starting a chicken fight that destroys an entire city block, Peter is the guy who thinks Dad of the Year means surviving the week. But here's why he lands in C tier instead of D. Despite all the chaos, Peter does care. We've seen rare moments where he stands up for Meg, comforts Lois, or teaches Chris a real lesson. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it shows that behind the idiocy, there's some heart. Peter is a disaster of a dad, but not a hopeless one. He's dangerous, careless, and clueless, but unlike Rick, he actually wants to be there. C tier feels just right. B tier, chaotic but caring, Randy Marsh. Sliding into B tier is Randy Marsh from South Park. Randy is the ultimate example of embarrassing dad energy. This is the guy who gets drunk at every school event, fights strangers in the parking lot, and once turned his testicular cancer into a way to bounce around town. Not exactly model parenting, but Randy isn't cruel. He isn't absent. He's just a fool who thinks he's helping. Remember when he joined the Lord storyline? Or when he built Tegrity Farms to give his family a better life? Randy has always had the best intentions, he just executes them in the most ridiculous way possible. What makes Randy different from Peter is his commitment. He shows up for Stan. Even if it's to embarrass him in front of an entire baseball league, he gives advice. Terrible advice, but advice nonetheless.
Oh, well, that sounds nice.
No, it does not sound nice. Stanley, you are going to have no part in that boy band.
Well, but Dad, all my friends are doing it.
If all your friends jumped off a cliff, would you do that too?
And deep down, Randy really does love Sharon and the kids. He just can't resist chasing whatever new obsession pops into his head. That balance of chaos and genuine care is why Randy fits snugly in B tier. He is a walking midlife crisis, but at least he's present. A tier, disaster dads who actually care, Stan Smith. In A tier, we've got Stan Smith from American Dad. On the surface, Stan is a CIA agent who tortures people, lies constantly, and drags his family into national security disasters. Doesn't sound like an A tier dad, right? But here's the thing. Stan's chaos is driven by love. He's overprotective to a fault. He constantly meddles in Haley and Steve's lives, but he does it because he wants what's best. Even if his idea of best involves military drills or black ops, Stan has saved his family from terrorist plots, sacrificed his own safety countless times, and shown that when push comes to shove, he values them above his CIA missions.
Right in our own neighborhood. Well, it's clear the time has come for me to show you where we hide our guns.
And unlike Peter or Rick, Stan constantly apologizes when he screws up. It's usually after nearly destroying the world, but still, he learns. The downside? Stan's patriotism often blinds him to his family's real needs. He wants Steve to be a soldier, Haley to be a conservative, Francine to be June Cleaver. His expectations are unrealistic, but his heart is in the right place. That's why Stan earns A tier. He's controlling, reckless, and over the top, but at the end of the day, he's a dad who always shows up. S tier, the GOAT dad, Homer Simpson. Finally, we reached the top. S tier. There's only one choice, Homer Simpson. Let's be real, Homer is a disaster. He drinks too much stuff, works a job he hates, and he has strangled Bart more times than we can count. On paper, he looks like a terrible dad. But here's the truth. Homer is the only one of these dads who consistently sacrifices for his family. He keeps his soul-crushing job at the power plant, not for himself, but to support Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie.
We were talking about the time you beat jury duty.
Oh, yeah. The trick is to say you're prejudiced against all races.
He forgets anniversaries, screws up birthdays, and still, he always makes it right by the end of the episode. Think about the small moments. Homer giving Lisa heartfelt speeches, teaching Bart lessons in his own clumsy way, or doing whatever it takes to win Marge's forgiveness. Those moments prove that Homer is more than just a bumbling oaf.
Pity. Where would my love life have been without it?
What do you say to a boy to let him know you're not interested?
He's the cartoon embodiment of unconditional love. That's what makes Homer S tier. He's not perfect. He's not even close. But he's the dad who always comes back for his family. And in the wild world of cartoon dads, that makes him the greatest of all time. And there it is. Every iconic cartoon dad ranked from total disaster to legendary. Jerry set the bar at F tier. Rick proved that brilliance doesn't equal good parenting. Peter showed us that sometimes love isn't enough when recklessness takes over. Randy landed in the messy middle as the embarrassing dad we all know too well. Stan Smith proved that chaos with love can climb all the way to A tier. And standing tall in S tier, Homer Simpson, the cartoon dad who, despite all his flaws, keeps proving his family is the center of his universe. But now it's your turn. Do you all agree with our rankings? Or did we completely miss the mark? Who's your S tier dad? And who belongs in F tier? Let us know in the comments. We'll be reading them all. And if you loved this breakdown, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a Toonastics tier list. Because this is just the beginning. Next time, we might be ranking moms, villains, or even kids. Until then, stay animated.